Hello, welcome to Sound and Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I'm Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of The Sound of the Dark by Daniel Church. This is a book from Angry Robot. It came out on October 28th, 2025. It's a horror thriller. So I received this paperback from Angry Robot in exchange for a fair review. And I'm part of the book tour, so check that out on my Instagram. My Instagram's going to be getting a facelift, I think, like late next week, where I'm going to be actually changing my name on there to match this channel. So go there now before it changes, because I will forget to update the link. A novel that retains the feel of a true crime. Wow. A novel that retains the feel of a true crime podcast. The Sound of the Dark is an engaging thriller/horror. So what is it about? In 1983, artist Tony Mathias began work on a new installation, a collage of visuals and sounds exploring the history of the abandoned RAF base on Warden Fell. Tony was a gentle soul, a devoted family man, but after visiting the site to tape record the sounds there, he killed his wife and children, set their home on fire, and turned the gun on himself. The closest thing to a reason why were two words scrolled on the fire-blackened wall: a world's end. Decades later, true crime podcaster Callie Darker begins researching the murders, aided by Tony's actress sister Stella. When she finds Tony's recording, she thinks she has a fantastic exclusive, perhaps even a chance to solve the mystery. But Warden Fell has a far older and more terrifying story to tell. Callie's about to learn what turned Tony into a killer, and it might be too late to save her. Now, to be clear, I am not a true crime podcast person, unless you count political podcasts. Haha. I like a good mystery, but I don't like how serial killers are sensationalized, and the true aspects of true crime creep me out. It's more than that. I actually used to edit criminal law court cases for a living, and it gave me vicarious trauma. Seriously, it's hard to enjoy true crime when you've read some truly horrific stuff. And I know true crime is real, but reading the court cases gives you every detail, and it's just anyway. I have listened to a couple that were recommended to me, like Nobody Should Believe Me and The Con, Caitlin's Baby, that I enjoyed because of the way the stories unfolded with interviews and the podcaster unveiling the mystery that was kind of like a story. This novel, because it follows a podcaster researching a horrific but confounding crime, takes that trajectory, so it kind of feels like a podcast. Because of the supernatural element, the reason for the initial crime is revealed slowly, which I also really enjoyed. I really like a slow build horror, and horror with a reason behind it versus just this guy is evil. In truth, there's a bit of the latter in this as well, something that seemed odd initially but then made sense, though I did find that character a little bit over the top. So this book is more of a thriller than a horror at times. There aren't too many scary scenes, but the few we get are really creepy, especially if you're reading the book at night, in the dark, like how I read. The tone is very solid throughout, a sort of creeping menace that builds and builds and builds. That aspect is so well done. In terms of the characters, Callie was a little hard to like, but I did like her at the same time. I feel bad when I kind of disliked aspects of her because she does have depression, but she bemoans it and uses it as an excuse a lot, and so I was kind of stop whining. It also explained why she didn't have a job and stuff, so it made sense, for the plot. I just found her a little annoying at times. Her friends, though, especially Stella, were really fun. Ellen fell a little flat for me, but everyone else really worked. There's a very strong female character vibe about this book, which is true of every book of Daniel's that I've read, so I'm fine to get behind that. The ending stretched on a little bit longer than I think it needed to in the sense of the action. I actually could have used less action and more explanation or lore, but that might just be my preference, versus a poor execution. I don't think it was poorly executed at all. It was really exciting and really interesting and had some cool kind of imagery. I will say, I guess, in terms of, I've read 3 of his books, I will say I like this one the second most. The Hollows I really loved. But this book, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. I recommend it to the podcast crowd, as well as those who like a good supernatural thriller/horror. Yeah, this is a book that kind of jumps around in genre. So if you're looking for something that's straight up psychological, you won't get that. If you're looking for something that's straight up supernatural, you won't really get that. It's got a blend going on, and I think that's one of its strengths, because it really does feel like we're following Callie on this journey that starts off rather normal and then kind of spirals into something really fascinating. So yeah, thank you so much to Angry Robot for I said e-arc almost, no, for the physical copy. I really appreciated it, and I think the cover is really cool too. So thanks.